Buenas noches, señoras y señoritas. So today I walked about 27 kilometers from Comillas to here in Unquera. It was very cold today, cold and windy, but no rain, so that's good. It'd been snowing again on the top of the mountains. You can see there's a fresh dusting of snow, so that's probably why it was so cold. But it was a nice walk. Walked through like National Park, and down by the beach. So yeah, it was a pretty rural, pretty scenic sort of natural area. Had coffee with a nice American lady. She just retired. She was telling me all about her plantar fasciitis. Everyone tends to talk about all their ailments that they've picked up while they've been walking, so it's a common discussion item. So a couple of bizarre things happened at lunch and dinner today. So at lunch I stopped off at this place and to get a bocadillo, so it's like a chicken sandwich. So I walked in and the guy behind the counter obviously didn't speak a word of English, and so I was just having a look at the menu and I just pointed to the one I want, which was numero tres, and so I told him that, and he was a bit preoccupied, like he was on the phone at the same time. So I kind of waited for him to finish his phone call, and then he's like, so 1, 2, 3. I went, sí, número tres. Okay, all right, so that's fine. So I go and sit down, and then his wife or whoever comes out, and she's like, she comes up to me. She couldn't speak English either, and she's like motioning to like hold a bag sort of thing, and I'm like, no, aquí, I eat here. That didn't seem to satisfy. So then she started asking everyone else in the place whether anyone else spoke English. No one else spoke English. So she wasn't very satisfied, but she went back to the kitchen. Anyway, she came out again, this time with my sandwich, and so she put it down, and she's still like motioning to carry the bag or whatever. I thought, what's she talking about? Is this like a doggy bag or something she's talking about? I went, no, not needed. I eat here. Okay, so she goes away again. Then she comes back, and she's got a bag, and there's stuff in it, and I'm like, okay, what's this? And she goes, dos bocadillos. And so I had a look. So there was 2 other sandwiches in there. So somehow they'd interpreted what I wanted as not just numero tres, but 3 times numero tres. So they give me 3 sandwiches instead of 1. And I'm like, no, I don't want 3. And so I went to the menu and I'm like, uno, numero tres, 1, number 3. She was like, I could see it sort of dawning on her. So then I used Google Translate and spelt it out to her, and then she like understood. And then I thought, they're probably going to try and ask me to pay for it, but they didn't. So that was bizarre. I don't know how they came to the conclusion that I wanted 3 sandwiches, but anyway. And then tonight, so I'm at this hotel, which is a bit of a weird place, but anyway, dinner was included, but they have no restaurant here, so you had to go down the road to this little cafe. So they give you like a little voucher. So I went down there. I walk into the place just after it opened, and there's just one other person in there by himself. And anyway, there's no waitress or anything comes up to me, and I'm just sort of waiting near the door, and then this other guy who's eating calls out to the guy at the back, probably to tell him, there's someone here. So then the chef comes out. He's like this enormous guy. He comes out, like, doesn't say anything, just stares at me. So I give him the voucher. He's like, So then he just points to a seat for me to sit down. And then must be the worst restaurant I've ever been to in my life. The menu was just like, you could tell it was just like written with a typewriter from like the 1970s or something. And it was just a piece of paper with the menu all written down in black and white. And then, so I ordered, for starters, I ordered gazpacho, which is like the Spanish soup, but I forgot that it's cold. So anyway, it was cold, so as it should be. So that was my fault. And then, that was the other thing. After I walked in and sat down, he went over to the door, and then he turned the sign from open to close straight away, even though it's meant to be open until 10 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then, so the second course comes out, which was salmon. It was burnt black, like the skin on it was burnt black. I've done a clip of it so you can have a look and just see how burnt it was. It was terrible. I couldn't eat that, so I left the skin on it. And then he comes out at the end. I just couldn't wait to get out of there. And then he comes out at the end and he goes, postre, which is dessert, una tarte, cafe. And I was just like, no, I just want to get out of here. So yeah, no one else came in because he closed the cafe down. So it's really weird. So, but the food was so awful. There's no wonder that nobody else was in there. So anyway, that was my interesting day. So yeah, tomorrow I've got another similar walk, about 1 kilometer less than I walked today. So pretty similar. And it's supposed to be a good day weather-wise as well. So, yeah, see how we go. Okay, bye. Well, it's cold this morning, and you can see that it has snowed up on the mountains last night. It wasn't there yesterday, so fresh dusting of snow overnight. But a nice day, so that's good. So another day, setting off on my way to Unquera. I'm going to do a bit of a detour first and try and find this famous house designed by Gaudi, the Spanish artist. It's a real tourist attraction, so I'm hoping I can find it. This is the main square, I guess, of Comillas. I think I found this Gaudi palace. Looks pretty gaudy, to be honest. Let's see what it's all about. It's described as a folly on the description board outside. Spectacular, but you can do tours of it, but it's not open yet, so I'm not going to hang around. So this place was built in the 1800s. It was meant to be the summer home of the first Marquis of Comillas, according to what I'm reading from here. So it's quite a nice setting. I think there's some old monasteries up on the hill. So yeah, very nice. No one else around. Nice place. Lots of walking through national park and like wetlands today with lots of bird life and that sort of thing. So very pretty. This is Playa Oyambre. Beaches in Spain are really, really nice. It's like Australian. They're all sandy, not pebbly like France or England. time for coffee. So we've got beaches down here. You go up the top, and there's snow up the top. So you can go surfing and skiing in one day. Can't do that in Australia. So this is San Vicente de la Barquera, which is about the halfway point of my walk for the day. Here you go. Here's an example of some of the anti-tourism sentiment. Only locals. This looks interesting. I have no idea what sort of game this is. Walking along some of these roads is not all that safe. There's no footpath on either side, so they do have signs warning motorists about pilgrims, but it still doesn't feel that safe. Walking along the railway tracks here, just coming into Unquera, which will be home for the night. It's been a long day.